Blizzard dropping last second class changes. I'm talking about hours before the servers go down. They're still dropping class change notes, so we're going to go through those. Also, I got a couple things that you could do while servers are down today to actually prepare yourself for raid, believe it or not. So let's just dive straight in, boys. We got some news to get into today. Here we go. 4-hour maintenance schedule today. Yes, that means 4 hours. For 4 hours, you degens will not be able to play WoW, unfortunately. Does that mean you should go outside and touch grass? Fuck no. I got a solution for you during this time period, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to spend that time here at the end of today's news segment, so stay tuned for that one. But overall, 4 hours, as long as things don't go horribly wrong. We got Season 1 officially kicking off. Thank you, SXC, for that follow, man. I appreciate it. I just make a YouTube... That's right, Ronan. We're going to make a YouTube video. Gaze, one of the trinkets that'll be dropping off of this single raid boss. That's right. This trinket right here, Gaze of the Allseer. Thank you, Ronan, for that follow. Has been nerfed multiple times. So if you don't know, we got a single boss raid dropping. And this boss actually drops a bunch of best-in-slot trinkets for a bunch of people. So there's a ton of things people are going to want off this boss. But the trinkets have been getting nerfed a couple times, especially the Gaze of the Allseer. This thing has been reduced again by 20%. It's the primary stat gain from this. So just buyer beware when it comes to these things. They keep changing them. But right now, this single boss is going to be something that drops a lot of trinkets for a lot of people. Okay, getting into the class tuning changes. So Blizzard once again dropped class tuning changes, and we know our classes are getting major tuning updates today, but these dropped again just hours before the servers went down. I saw these this morning, so here we go. Unholy Priest, they resolved an issue with Magus the Dead to have unintended wait time between casts. So Magus of the Dead has been changed, and they resolved an issue where Let Terror Reign to put White Mane's Death Coil on cooldown. That's fine. It's just some fixes here for Unholy. For Evoker, a big change here. All damage abilities increased by 13%. And then some 2-set and 4-set pieces. A little bit of tuning there. A little bit of a nerf, actually. But the all damage, that's a big one. Just to drop last second for augmentation. So Augie boys getting a little bit of love before the servers went down today. And then Shadow Priest actually getting a ton of love here. Check this one out. They fixed an issue where for Shadow Ward, that's fine. But the big one here, all damage increased by 16%. A big dick buff coming in for Shadow Priest, which, again, lore-wise, totally makes sense. Right now, to me, Retribution Paladins, a Holy like the Paladins, anyone who plays with the Light, maybe Holy Priest as well, should be getting buffed as well as Shadow Priest. This is the Void versus the Light, right? So this is what this is all about. So they should be getting a little bit stronger for this patch if the lore holds true. A bunch of other increases to a bunch of abilities. The only thing that got nerfed here was Shadow Ward. But besides that, this thing is big dick. Tons of things here. Shadow Ward Madness damage also increased. What am I talking about? This was also an increase. So no, these are increases across the board. Guys, tons of increases for Shadow Priest, looking really good for them. And then another one here for Shadow Priest in PvP, also a 7% buff. So there you go. But that's not all. Another round drop. Just Blizzard can't make up their minds today. They're just tripping over themselves with these class changes. So they dropped another one just another maybe hour ago. So these dropped again. Here we go. Another update. We have Fire Mage getting a bunch of changes here. Fire Mage damage increased by 15%. So these buffs that they dropped last second are not small by any means. We got Fireball, I should say, upgraded by 15%. Frostfire increased by 15%. And Fire Blast increased by 25%. These are not minor changes here. These are massive buffs for Fire Mage. An update for Mistweaver Monk to correct an increase of 270%, not 260 for Monk line, Mistweaver Monk line. And then Jade Fire Teachings now increases transfer rate of Ancient Teachings by 270%, was 200. So a nice little buff there for them. And then the following Retribution Paladin notes have been adjusted. We saw Ret Paladin yesterday. As I said, yeah, you got yourself all oiled up. Just imagine a muscular man bathing himself in baby oil. I'm not talking about P. Diddy. I'm talking about a man bathing himself in baby oil and the light's purity. That's what we saw yesterday with Retribution Paladins and the changes that are coming to them. Absolutely buffed out the ass. We're seeing a tiny nerf here, okay? Final Verdict went from 30% to 15%, probably because that shit was one-shotting people. And then resolved an issue causing Extinction Sentence to only deal 10% of holy damage to the target instead of 20%. So some nerfs here for them after the big dick buffs they just got yesterday. But I think Ret Paladin is sitting in a great spot for this season. They're going to absolutely freaking go nuts. Yeah, they were threatening, that's right, Dampen, threatening to close down the Ret Discord again. So Blizzard had to appease those people. Besides that, guys, we got a couple other things here. We got some cool little loading screens. So if you guys don't know, we are getting an open world event, right, coming with this new season. You'll be fighting off the void invasions and all incursions, I should say, and all that. But we also have these ritual sites, which will be a queuable instance content, 1 to 5 players. We got a new loading screen for this. Kind of looks cool. So we got some ritualistic voodoo shit on the table and stuff. This looks like a cool loading screen. We're also getting that decor hide and seek game. Right, so yeah, this Decor Duels, as they're calling it. Another queuable event. This is like a queuable PvP event, though. And we got a cool little loading screen for this, honestly. This is a nice-looking one. I think this is Magister's Terrace here. So this is a cool-looking loading screen. Just a couple pieces of content. We're getting a ton of content today. I should say, well, this is actually a 12.0.5 update. I'm sorry, so this is not today. This is a 12.0.5 update. I misspoke, but that patch... 0.5 patch for what we're getting in it, it's huge, honestly. A ton of stuff coming with that one. So it's going to be a good 0.5 patch for the most part. I feel like it's got a lot of preseason content that was meant to be preseason midnight, and we're getting it in our first 0.5 patch. But hey, fuck it, we'll take it. Also, some fucking hilarious news when it comes to this one. Have any of you guys seen this mount before? Because I hadn't, okay? I hadn't seen this mount until I saw this article. And there's a reason why a lot of you haven't seen this mount. Maybe you don't live in Germany. So evidently, this mount was an exclusive Pringles launch in Germany. I completely missed this one. Don't know how I never saw it. But this thing is called the Thunder Rigid Elk. And what's cool about this elk is it was part of a promotional event in Germany where players absolutely fucking degen their lives away to get it. Here's the thing. Pringles launched this thing, and their plan was to get WoW players to go outside. All right, they had this thing where there were QR codes spread out throughout Germany, and you could go to these different cities and scan the QR codes, and there were only supposed to be 3,000 of these mounts given away. So you get your Pringles can, you go around. They basically tried to get WoW players to touch grass. Well, of course, they didn't realize who the fuck they were dealing with, because the WoW community ain't about that life. They actually figured out a workaround where they could go to the website, and without ever going outside, they would be able to unlock these elks. Well, to say the least, these 3,000 mounts absolutely got devoured because there was also no limit on the amount that they could get. So these elks basically went away, 3,000 of these things. The codes were sold online. Basically a complete and utter shit show, all right? That's what happened with this thing. So this entire Pringles event became an utter shit show. The mount was pretty damn cool. Badass looking elk, if you ask me. So all of this shit went down, and Blizzard has found a way to fix it. They're going to give it to us on the trading post, guys. That's right. So Blizzard said they monitored the situation of the limited edition Pringles promotion, and they've decided that this is not only going to be the first time they're going to do this, but this might set a precedent here where these limited time promotional mounts will also end up eventually on the trading post. So yes, the Thunder Rigid Elk could end up as a trading post mount, or should end up as a trading post mount at some point during midnight, along with some other really cool promotional mounts. And now this is a big W from Blizzard. I'll be honest, this is what the trading post is supposed to be all about. Giving us things that maybe are store promotional shit, maybe are some kind of thing that wasn't available to everybody, and finally making it available to everybody because of the fact that they simply pay a sub. That's right. That's the only thing you got to do with the trading post. You pay your monthly sub, you got a shot at getting the trading post done for that month. So this one, when it's available, I'm definitely going to be going for this thing. I think this is a badass looking elk mount. I'm definitely going to want it. And I think a lot of people will want this. It'll probably be an end of trading post reward if I had to guess, rather than a trading post currency one. But I could be wrong. Maybe Blizzard wants to get people to spend their traders tenders. So that could also be a thing. But keep an eye open, not only for this one, but as Blizzard said, they plan on making other limited promotional mounts no longer limited, as they were saying. So this is a pretty cool one here. Besides that, I have a way for you guys to spend your time when the servers go down. That's right. Now, yes, you could get your favorite box of tissues and lotion and just go ham on Zaloteth feet pics, or you could spend your time constructively and meaningfully doing this thing. So if you guys didn't know, back in the day, there was this pineapple raid guide from this guy in Ukraine, actually. I don't even know if he's still alive, I'll be honest. Hopefully he is. But he made this pineapple raid guide, which was essentially you were a little pineapple and you were playing through the mechanics of the raid that was going to be opening for the current season. So it would take you through and you would learn all the mechanics before the raid actually goes live. This was done via testing from the PTR, and then he put it on this cool little pineapple game. I played that thing on stream almost every time before the raids went live. It was a fun way to learn the mechanics and everything. Well, today we got a new one called Vellum. That's right. So this guy dropped this one. Let's check out this video real quick.
Raid night can be tough, but it doesn't have to be.
So this is like a mini game that shows you the basics of the fights. all the fights that are
Choose
opening
an
with this
encounter
raid.
to master menacing mechanics.
Pretty cool. So these are all the genuine mechanics from the raids that you can learn by playing through this minigame.
You will be prepared.
Very nice. Yeah, so this is
Vellum,
cool.
Raid Night Study Hall.
So a Raid Night
Play
Study
free
Hall.
on Steam.
Play free on Steam. So I guess you can
I
download this
still
thing
don't
on
get
Steam.
healed.
You can play this thing on Steam. I'll link this in the chat and down below the video if you guys want here on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, it should be down below. You could go ahead and follow this thing, download it on Steam, and actually learn the fights while the servers are down. That's actually cool. Yeah, so this is kind of a follow-up to the Pineapple guides that we had back in the day, where you'll be able to go through the boss mechanics, learn them. Now, obviously, there's a bit of a difference between WoW and playing this kind of minigame version, but essentially you'll learn the mechanics like, oh, this one I'm supposed to dodge, this one I'm supposed to soak. And remember, this raid's going to be different than any raid we've seen previously, because Blizzard said they're building out these raids to be played without add-ons, right? We don't have add-ons this time around. This is supposed to be kind of a different way of boss fighting. Gone are the days of just soaking constantly and dodging swirlies, because that's all Blizzard could do, because they were worried people were just going to make weak auras to change, just to make everything trivial. So no weak auras this time. Means we got to fucking focus. We got to understand what's going on here. So I think this is a really cool way. As I said before, 4 hours of downtime on the servers. You could probably get out a quickie and play through this. So a great time while servers are down. Great way to spend your time and a great way to prepare. For those of you who are getting ready to raid, we will be raiding on stream, of course. Get in here early, 5 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be going live tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll be forming up raid and, of course, clearing normal. That should be a good time. And for today, that is all in terms of news.